Good afternoon. Welcome to USV Post 2 Staff Sergeant Richard A. Fitts chapter. For our first time in 3 years, we've been able to hold this ceremony in recognition of our Vietnam veterans. The last Sunday in April has always been the end of the war for the United States in Vietnam. Many never returned, 58,000 plus never returned from Vietnam. Abington has had several, which is not uncommon, but then many more veterans have had and perished since then during being exposed to the toxic Agent Orange. Many, many more. So one of the sayings I've heard going around is, we served in Vietnam, we came home, but death came with us, or some of us. Some of us are still suffering from Vietnam and Agent Orange. It's a disease that doesn't quit. But for those of us who keep going and surviving, it's an everlasting battle, day in, day out. And therefore, I would like everybody to please stand for the salute and the Star Spangled Banner. Thank you. You got that one ready?
Yep.
Okay. As you can see, all 5 branches of our armed forces served in Vietnam. Nobody was left out. At this time, I would like to invite Kristy Coburn, the Reverend Kristy Coburn, to the podium for the opening prayer.
Let's join our hearts and minds together in prayer. God of love and peace, we are grateful to be gathered here today to remember the end of the Vietnam War, while also giving thanks for the men and women who served our country in that war. Our hearts ache for those who died fighting, faithful members of the military who gave their lives to protect the freedoms we hold dear. We will never forget their sacrifices or their honor, and we will never forget the lifetime of sacrifices made by their families and friends. But today, Holy God, we also honor and give thanks for the veterans who fought bravely and were able to return home alive. We know that the road has not always been easy for these veterans. They've not only had to grieve the losses of their comrades, but also faced political divisions so deep they did not receive the homecoming welcome they so deserved. Today, we ask that you forgive us the transgressions of our past. Forgive us for not understanding the negative impact the war in Vietnam had on a generation of people, particularly those who fought nobly and sacrificed honorably. And forgive us for not welcoming these brave men and women as they so deserved. And through the forgiveness you offer us, help us to honor our Vietnam veterans and their fallen comrades today and for the rest of our lives, so that they will always know how much we appreciate their selflessness and their love. In the name of peace, let us join together and say, Amen.
Thank you, Kristy. Now, I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Abington Veterans Agent Adam Gunn.
If you've served during Vietnam or have a family member who served in Vietnam, would you please raise your hand? Thank you. It's humbling to be standing here today amongst so many heroes who served, and standing in here in front of the Abington monument with the names of so many of them who have served. Thank you for coming today. America's reach into Vietnam lasted from 1957 to 1975. During that time, approximately 2,700,000 American men and women served in Vietnam. Those who were there faced uncertainty, hostile environments, landmines, mortars, artillery from both ground forces, air, tragic loss, and death. They experienced death like most of us will never see in our lifetime. Lives were taken from their families back home while they suffer forever with the ultimate sacrifice. Although we gather here today to remember the end of the Vietnam War, let us never forget those who bravely gave everything, leaving their families and brothers in arms with a void that can never be filled. Let us now bow our heads and remember those lost in Vietnam. Army Specialist 4th Class, Dennis Adley, killed in action. Air Force Major Peter Bugby Christensen, killed in action. Army Staff Sergeant Richard Allen Fitts, killed in action. Army Specialist 4th Class Richard Francis Glenowitz, killed in action. Army Private 1st Class Glenn Raymond Gordon, killed in action. Marine Corps Private 1st Class Ralph Gerald Hamlin Jr., killed in action. may we never forget those who lost their lives. Those who fought in Vietnam left there a different person than they were before. It was the first time in our history that we as a nation failed to properly welcome our veterans back home and see them as the true heroes they were. Countless were attacked and mistreated by a divided nation that opposed the war. As I think about the foolish actions and words of hate and disrespect, coupled with the brutal combat experiences you had just come back from, it's no wonder why so many still hold the guilt and unseen and unspoken scars to this day. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your bravery, selflessness, dedication, devotion, and sacrifice. Many of you even continue to live by those same traits today. I can say this for certain, that we do value what you did for our nation. We do respect you. We do appreciate you. And we will do everything we can to honor you until our last breath, even after you breathe yours. May God bless each and every one of you standing here today who served in Vietnam. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. And now at this time, the chair that sits in front of me, which represents the POWs MIAs of Richard A. Fitts chapter and all of the POWs in the Gold Star wife, mother, Vickie Fitts, will place a bouquet of flowers on the chair at this time. Vickie? Thank you. At this time, my remarks on today, thank you for all coming. This day will live on forever. It can't be erased, so let us not forget. Let us not forget all the wars. They are meaningful and they were costly. With that, at this time, we will have taps. This concludes our ceremony. Thank you all for coming.